This video is on the technical analysis of Goldfields Limited, and at this point in time we're on the monthly chart. And on this particular chart, what we see that is very much interesting is that we have this candlestick over here, and what it is a liquidity candlestick, as it's a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long level wick. And by now you guys know that that means we have a lot of money stuck at that bottom where that wick actually ends, and it also tells us that in the future we will likely see the market actually move further down to that level to grab that liquidity area, as it's carrying a lot of money. And by now you guys know that the market will always go to where the money is, right? Another thing that I see that is also very much interesting is that as much as we have this area over here, we also have this area over here, which is now a very strong level of support, and also the neckline of this double bottom over here, right? And the anticipation at this point in time is for the market, because it has closed above that neckline, to come back to the neckline to test it. And at that neckline is where we will most likely look for those potential buying opportunities, as the anticipation is for the market to move further up, right? So what I'm going to do right now is just add a neckline for that W structure. Just bear with me while I do so. Let's have a look. Let's see. And just remember, guys, that necklines are areas and not so much an actual line. So I'll have this line over here, which is the neckline, as I've just said. But just keep in mind that in as far as necklines go, we could say that this entire area over here is the neckline of this huge W structure that I just spoke about. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we proceed, guys. But for the sake of making things a bit simple and making sure that our charts are as clean as possible, I'll just have the neckline as an actual line at this level over here. But just remember that it's an area and not a line, right? And as I said, guys, because we can see that price has closed above that neckline, the anticipation is for the market to head back to the neckline to test it, which is also a very strong level of support, as we've had multiple rejections at that point, right? Now what I'm going to do is look for, or rather add the Fibonacci retracement tool, just to see if that neckline actually aligns with any key numbers that we have on the tool, right? So what we're doing at this point is looking for confluence and further reasons for why, should the market come back to that neckline or that very strong level of support, we should indeed be looking for those potential buying opportunities. So we can see that in regards to the structure, which has a neckline over there, the neckline, which is also a very strong level of support, aligns with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, which adds as further confluence that indeed, should the market come back to this level, we should be looking for those potential buying opportunities where the neckline is, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind as we move forward, that the neckline aligns with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, right? Anyway, let's proceed. What else do we see in regards to the monthly chart that we should be paying attention to? At this point, I don't see much, so what I will do is head down to the weekly chart and let's have a look what's happening in regards to the weekly chart. Let's have a look. On the weekly chart, we can see, in fact, before we continue, let me just recap. Remember, on the monthly chart we spoke about, we have this huge double structure which has a neckline at that point, and we know that the neckline aligns with the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, and should the market come back to the neckline from where it is, that neckline is where we would look for those potential buying opportunities, right? So let's zoom in and see what's happening on the weekly chart. So the first thing that I see that is also very much interesting in regards to the weekly chart is that we have these two candlesticks, and what they are liquidity candlesticks, and both candlesticks tell us that there's a lot of money, stuck where they end, or where they start at the top, where the wicks actually start, rather, right? So what this tells us is that the market needs to head to first this level over here, right, where we have that wick where it ends actually, and the next level is this level over here as well, which is also very much important, right? Just bear with me, right? So the market needs to head to those levels because there's a lot of money stuck at those two levels, right? But just remember, at this point in time, the anticipation is for the market to move to this level, and at this level is where we should be looking for those potential buying opportunities. To add to that, we also have gaps at this point over here, it seems, as well as at this level and this level, right? So these areas are also liquidity areas, and there's a lot of money stuck where those gaps are. And as I said, the market will always go to where the liquidity is, or where the money is. So as much as I'm saying, guys, that should the market come back to this level, at this point we should be looking for those potential buying opportunities, just keep in mind that we might see a situation where the market actually moves further down, disregarding this level, just to fill those gaps that I just spoke about, because there's a lot of liquidity stuck there, and liquidity is money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So we just need to be careful, and hence I say that we need confluence. We're not just going to buy should the market reach this area. We're going to look for further reasons for why at that level we should be buying, because it's also quite possible that we may potentially see the market move further down to grab all of those liquidity areas that I just spoke about. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, what else do we see in regards to the weekly chart that we should be paying attention to? Another thing that I also want to mention, or that I should have mentioned on the monthly chart, is that as much as we have this blue structure over here, remember that a lot of traders and investors usually buy on that second leg of the W structure, and they place their stop losses just below, right? So there's a lot of money stuck in and around this area over here, and as much as the anticipation is for the market to head down to this level, and at this level we want to be looking for those potential buying opportunities, there is plenty of scope for the market to actually move further down. Firstly, to grab all of those liquidity points that I spoke about. Secondly, to grab the stop losses that are located in this region, as a lot of traders and investors bought at this point and place their stop losses there. And thirdly, we also have the candlestick that I spoke about on the monthly chart that's carrying all of that liquidity at that point, right? So in conclusion, should the market, in my humble opinion, move to this level, at this level is where I believe we should be looking for buying opportunities based on what I'm seeing right now, right? And that is because this is a low. This is one of the biggest lows that we have in as far as the weekly chart goes, right? Anyway, from here, what I'm going to do is head down to the daily chart, and let's see what's happening on the daily chart. And here we are on the daily chart. Let's have a look. And in regards to the daily chart, we can see that the market is in an upward trajectory, as you guys can see. But having said that, remember what I said earlier, that we want to see the market actually move that down to that level, and at this level we may look for those potential buying opportunities. Also keep in mind that I spoke about those two candlesticks that are carrying that liquidity, and they tell us that the market also still needs to head up to grab those two liquidity areas. So what may possibly happen also is that we might see where market gives us a double top, and should it do so, I know that a lot of traders will actually sell at this point, and that first take profit should this level. And as I said, at this level we will look for further or potential buying opportunities.